The news media is putting out a lot of fake propaganda and lies, like ICE is targeting black children and it's getting black people's panties in a bunch. But it's another one of them things where, it's not our fight. Ain't no black kids getting detained by ICE in Chicago, and black people reacting to that fake propaganda is part of an attack against black people.
Oh my God.
We don't fact check nothing. We don't fact check nothing. And I'm telling y'all something right now, bro. All of this propaganda about, they detaining black kids in Chicago, ICE up there, they detaining people. It's infuriating because you see people all over the place resharing the fake news and the misinformation, and ain't nobody censoring it, but we supposed to be censoring fake news. Drop a one if y'all really care if I cam up or not, because I wasn't really planning on camming up today. But I will if it's that important to y'all. Maybe y'all want to see my facial reactions, because I'm gonna play some video clips and I'm gonna give my commentary, but I don't know, maybe y'all wanted to see my actual face reaction to some of these. With people, we got to talk, man. It's a lot going on, yo. And it's a lot that's not going on that's been reported like it's going on. I need my brothers and sisters in Chi-Town. Where y'all at, man? See, I don't come with false calls, and the only thing I'm saying is this. If we can't galvanize black Chicagoans, then they're gonna control this narrative. So all of y'all black folks from Chicago love to talk about O Block. You like to talk about the gangs and the fucking bull crap. Guess what though? Can I get some Chicago people up here to admit that this is fake news? Because if anyone gonna make an impact, is actual black people from Chicago. Because people, this ain't no game what I'm about to share with y'all today, and it's very freaking important. All right? Because ICE is raiding the ghetto. But all of these narratives that is black children being targeted is straight BS, because you would have black people from Chicago come out with it before the news. Come on now, people. Come on now, people.
Antarctic alien.
Hold on now. And some black folks gonna be like, who cares if it's fake or not? Because they are targeting our people. I'm gonna show y'all why that kind of mentality is what they hoping you have. I'm gonna show you why. Because what you don't realize is that black people are about to get out here and start protesting, and you falling for the trap. They already got the National Guard and ICE in the hood. The National Guard and ICE ain't there for black people. But if black people want to get out there and march and protest and fucking make a ruckus, then now they got a reason to not only target Venezuelans, but black folks too. I keep telling y'all this ain't our fight. But y'all emotions, right? Y'all desperateness to be, even if it is fake, we still want it. See, that's gonna be your damn problem. That right there, that kind of desperation, right, is what we don't need. You easy to fall for stuff when you like that. So all over TikTok, you got people sharing fake news all over the internet, right? And ain't nobody doing nothing about it, because they want this thing out there so they can lock niggas up, shoot niggas up, so they can have a reason to activate ICE on black people. Stay out of it, y'all. See, you got black folks want to go and protest, go to the streets, and guess what, y'all? all of that is fake news, like what y'all acting off. Now, if they was really targeting black babies, I would be saying y'all are heroes. But if they're not and you falling for the okie doke, I'm saying you a fool. It's a thin line between a fool and a hero on this one right here, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play some of these news stories. And I'm gonna be, and while we listen in, I'll go ahead and throw my little, cause I wasn't planning on getting on camera, but I'm gonna hop on camera now. So let's throw this on.
Downright shocking.
And I'll be getting on camera here in like 5 minutes.
We're getting new reports about a chilling and downright shocking escalation of ICE tactics against the residents of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes in zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
They zip tied the kids together. ICE put out a statement saying they were pursuing Trinidad gang members, but U.S. citizens living in the building say they were detained too. The cops told them that if they had any unrelated warrants, they wouldn't.
Everything that police do is on a body cam. ICE have body cams. There are street cameras. Everybody got phones nowadays. You got this black woman on the news talking about they zip tying children. She didn't say what color they was, number one. Number two, she's saying that they zip tying children. Where's the proof? Ain't no photos of these zip tied children. Ain't no phone videos. Every time the police come in the hood harassing niggas, the first thing niggas do is pull out phones. Ain't no evidence nowhere of kids zip tied together. We can't see that. The only thing that's going viral is this fake video right here. And this is AI. It's not, or is it AI? Actually, let me go ahead and let you know exactly what it is. Because I don't know if it's AI, but it's not it's not real. So, again, this is not a child being zip tied and detained by ICE. This is a father and son, and the father is a police officer, and he's just running and playing with his little boy. And, you know, police officers do that with their children. They might say, boy, I'm going to lock you up, you know. And this was recorded, but it was planned. Look at the boy's face. If this was ICE and some stranger detaining a baby, the baby will be crying. But the baby clearly know this pawpaw. If this was a stranger putting that boy in cuffs, that boy will be crying he'll be slobbering and all that. He'll be screaming loud as hell. This stranger that I don't know putting me against my putting constraints on me. But the boy laughing because it's daddy. Now, this video is going viral around black YouTube. And as you can see why I hate TikTok, because TikTok is the home of misinformation and fake news, but it don't got no fact checking, censoring like the other platforms got. And even the platforms with fact checking, censoring systems, they only target the stuff that challenges the narrative. they don't really get rid of the real fake news and misinformation, right? So there is so many narratives going on right now as I speak of black kids being zip tied and detained by ICE, and you can't show photos, videos, nothing. It's disgusting. And some of these black content creators are so desperate for content, they want to race bait, play on the people's emotional strings, and they don't know that they selling the psyop. They're helping to sell the psyop. So look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the first caller. Sir Drop is on. I'm going to take the first caller, and then I'm going to play y'all the psyops and what the news is doing with this fake news. And then I'm going to show y'all what the agenda is and why we shouldn't even fall for it, because it's not our fight. First caller, Sir Drop, what's good, man? Much respect.
Yeah, what's going on? See, what they doing with this psyop is pumping fear in our kids. They already got our kids running from police officers and everything, right? So now, cool. They actually showing your kid that they can get put in handcuffs. This is what the psyop is doing. We know it's the daddy and the child and all that in the third, but the visual they giving is a kid being put in handcuffs. So what does that do to your toddler once he sees it? What does it do to like now you got pulled over by the police? How are your kids gonna act? Your kids gonna actually think they're in a position where they can get locked up or everybody can die in a car. And it's a false illusion. You get pulled over, you give them your driver's license, and you pull off. That's regular. But now they got the kids thinking, it's war, it's the police. So now I remember the kids used to run up to the police officers and get stickers. Now when the police pull up in the inner cities, the kids run off. And I think that's what the psyop is. That's the message they put.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely know that there was a time where kids actually did look up the police. And I dropped. You might be a little older than me. I'm 40. I turned 41 this year, but that time is fucking even like that was when I was a child. You know, because by the time I became a teenager, they start pushing, you know, fuck the police. And you looked at Carney still looking. So if I was a teenager, how many generations from then to now that's been under the fuck the police? But the whole thing is like, I would say too, kind of to give them a little bit of, you know, I can kind of feel them a little because I think the police have gotten more, I don't know what's the word, militarized under Trump and shit, you know, since then. But the interactions between the youth and the police are being primed in a way, if you think about what I'm saying, to get us exterminated. And the reason I say that is because, listen here, we teaching the youth to automatically be hostile right off the bat with police. And with that going on, you got the police getting more power, more privileges, more rights to act and do more and get away with it under Trump. That ain't a good combination, y'all. So
it's not. It's not. And right, when you look at it as a whole, right, the way they promoting everything under the umbrella is programming the children anyway. So depending on where you from, it's a certain way you act, it's a certain way you talk, it's a certain way you move, all the way up to the upper echelon. So they got control over this whole thing all the way from the bottom feeders to the top dog. They got their hand over everything, and until we can say forget the hand that's over us, man, we ain't gonna never be able to do that. But I know it's about time for the next caller, man. But thanks for letting me speak my piece and shit. That's what's up.
well, yeah, ain't nobody on the waiting line. We chilling, but yeah, you can just mute up or interject whenever you want, however you want to do it. I'm gonna play a video and let you hear You in Akron, you in Ohio, right?
Yeah,
So
Akron, Ohio.
don't they got ICE going through? Is
Yeah,
ICE in your
I
joint?
bro, I live directly in the neighborhood, right? So cool. They moved all these immigrants right on the north side of Akron. This is real tough. And I'm talking about Nepalians, Africans, Nigerians, not Africans, but Ethiopians, Nigerians, um, Haiti people. They done moved these niggas from what's the name? Honduras. All right, cool. My neighbor is from Honduras. And I'm saying right on the north side, it's a little itty bitty spot, right? And they got their own little where when you come over here, that's where you go to get your ID and everything. Now look how they do it. They all get $1,000 a head. This is what the government give them: $1,000 a head per household per month. So cool. They like stack like 9 people.
Damn, say that again, bro. How much they get a head per? Hold up, do that again.
1,000. Yeah, they get $1,000 a head. So if there's 7 of them, they getting $7,000 a month, right?
Fucking crazy.
But it's real secluded. But not only that, bro, they can't even talk English, right? But they got a driver's license. I'm like, how the fuck you passed the temp test? First off, now you got license. Cool. Then they pull up in brand new cars. Guess what? They go to the food giveaway at the churches. They take the food and then put it in their stores and sell it back to the people. It's amazing. I'm like, yeah, see, they. I don't know, but I do a live and go ahead, you got it.
Nah, bro, I ain't got no beef with no immigrants. Like, I love all people. But when I say it ain't our fight, it's because, and from my understanding, ICE may detain black people, but they are not going to zip tie no damn children. That's just a reach. I was in law enforcement. So the thing is this right here. Okay, for example, they went up in the projects in Chicago. They did detain a couple of black folks, right? But guess what? The black people complied because they know that they good. ICE is there for the gang members that's immigrants, Venezuelans. When they got the Venezuelans, they let all the black folks go. Now, some of these immigrants look like black people. Some they'll have certain people in their group that can go for like a black guy. You know what I'm saying? ICE may detain some of y'all and let y'all go. But think about this. My thing is this right here. You got immigrant gang members living among black gang members. Apparently, they in the same project complex. That means they very close. Do the Venezuelan gangs get along with the BDs, GDs, and the black gangs? They close as hell. You got black folks living in the same project as the Venezuelan gang in one of those ICE raids. I was like, damn. They don't got their own projects, their own, whole project thing. It be mixed situations like that up in the Midwest drop.
Yeah, it be mixed everywhere. Like they just throw you. It's sort of like in jail. They'll throw you, like say you a blood or something, right? Yeah. They'll throw you in a crib cell on purpose.
Yeah.
It's to keep the vision. It's all about the vision. Now imagine if all them gang members said, we gonna quit fighting each other. Oh, that's a military in itself, but they keep fighting each other over the same reason the world fighting each other, over race. Them Mexicans ain't messing with them. The MG13s, what's their name? Whatever they name.
Yeah.
Whatever,
MS-13,
they not messing with, you know what I'm saying? And all of them not messing with each other. But I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all fearless. Y'all don't care about going to jail. Why is y'all fighting each other? Now, I ain't saying go fight somebody else. I'm saying, but why is y'all fighting each other? So cool, they get all the warriors and they lock them up. So who we got to fight with? Everybody warriors locked up. Everybody's brilliant person that can finagle money through the system, they even locked up. The nerdy boys, they knew how to, do the coding and all that. They locking everything up that can take them down. So now I'm like, not even fighting. Don't even fight them. Just let them do their thing and let it fizzle out. Because the truth on, my bad, I got the babbling on.
I'm starting to think that they putting these immigrant gangs in proximity to black gangs so that hopefully they would wipe the black folks out first. Because it seemed like over the time these immigrant gangs is like, well, if the blacks don't mess with us, we ain't gonna mess with them. And it's almost like the white folks is like, well, we finna get y'all the hell out of here and we gonna replace y'all with somebody that's gonna do this shit. Or so, I don't know. But
no, you absolutely right. But they gonna replace them with another rivalry. They want to divide and conquer each city. Mm-hmm. So cool. If you can get the city going against each other, you mean to tell me I can't go 7 blocks up the street? Or I can die? That's crazy. That's what the government wants.
Yeah.
And these stupid little young people is actually falling for it. Like, this is my block.
Yeah, man. It's quarantine like third world countries and shit. Yeah.
And then when they get in jail, they do the same thing. But a natural reflex is to gravitate to your own people. Like, so when you in a lunchroom in high school, you going to stick with the people you cool with. If we on a YouTube live, you going to gravitate to what's pulling you to it.
But, I'm glad you say that. Go ahead, yeah.
No, you got it.
No, I was saying I'm glad you said that about high school because, look, is it really about color? Because think about it. In high school, if you in the band and the Mexican white boy, all them in the band with you, y'all band members gonna go eat together, no matter what color y'all is. And then the people that I find that ain't part of shit, then yeah, they may just go sit with the black folks and then, boom, the white folks. But I see that people will get rid of the race barriers once they become fraternized in a certain fraternity, like the band, the football team, or then they'll put the color barrier down and then them niggas will be like their own clique. And that's how I see with like the Freemasons, like the fucking big elite groups and shit. They'll start grouping themselves and be like, fuck the color. Look, all of us rich, nigga, and we the bankers. We can come together against these poor folk, and they start putting, but that, that's just me, thinking out loud what you're saying.
It starts with the fraternity, though, right? Like, if you don't get in certain fraternities, you can never be the head doctor. You can never be the head of nothing you do in life. This is why they go through this hazing ritual. Because they already know, all right, I want to be the head of Summa Healthcare. You could never be the head if you didn't make it through the fraternity. So they had died through, man, the sick stuff they do. We ain't got to talk about it. But they actually go through that because money run them. Hey, man, you don't need that much money. You only need enough money all the time. You just need enough money all the time. You don't gotta be no.
Hey, Drop, you got that old game that niggas used to give us when we was young, like that old little sands and shit that them niggas, you know what I'm saying? That nigga got but that old 50, game.
Though.
There you go.
OG, my OG. Philly that's OG, my OG. It's a couple people my OGs, but that's when I be talking to cats, right? I'll be like, bro.
Shout out to Philly.
They'd be like 30 years old, right? I'll be like, that's cool. I remember when I was 30, but I'm also looking at my oldest daughter, 35. So now I'm looking like, okay, cool. but then they don't want to listen to an old player. What they say, we don't want to listen to an old player.
Yeah.
They don't.
You know what's crazy?
Gonna...
You know, we didn't really value a lot of the shit that the old heads was saying to us. We listened, but I don't think we valued it. But it was kind of like, you know, the OG want to school me, let me go ahead and listen and humble myself. But we didn't really value it till they was gone. Like, damn, if it wasn't for me listening to that, I wouldn't be this way now. I wouldn't have this certain trait that you didn't think they was really instilling that in you. You was like, here he go again. But the shit really, later, they gonna see, you know. That's the crazy thing.
You wasn't even allowed to, like my OGs, you weren't really allowed to do nothing if it wasn't the talent you had. Like you'll call yourself being ignorant and jumping in the gang and they'll be like, no, man, you got a mean jump shot. Man, go to the court. And they'll pay you money to go to practice on the court. That shit gone. These little niggas, it's completely, my bad for the word, but it's completely different now. When I was young, bro, they wanted to see you make it out of this game. Now it's like they trying to pull you in the game. That's crazy to me. But that's our subject on a little sidebar, but it's still crazy. Ain't no more OGs.
No, listen.
OGs got out the game.
We gotta have
OG I know got out the game. Go ahead, you got.
No, we gotta have a show just on that because I just saw a video of Jim Jones and Birdman throwing up blood and was like, you know, stacking with their hands, blood, you know, and shit. And I was like, dang, these niggas gotta be 60. Like, well, I know Birdman got to be like going on 60. And that shit was just like, yeah, you right, nigga. You may have had gang. Yeah, it looked so weird. It's going viral, actually. A lot of people talking about it. And the fact that that's going viral let me know the people waking up, man. Like, the people tired of that overly tough, that ego shit. I knew that when Ghana was getting more love than Young Thug. So it's a shift going on, and the people in power know that. But at the end of the day, there is a lot of propaganda going out there to make black people react, and I think a lot of it coming from the Proud Boys, bro, not the Proud Boys, but the far right. I can be wrong, but I think these folks want a race war. Ever since Charlie Kirk, it's been clear to me that these crazy folks in power, they want a war with you Negroes, and they don't want to be blamed for starting it. They want to activate you and then respond to you so it'll look defensive. So how do you activate black folks? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say with like Charlie Kirk, right? Here's what I don't like about black folks. Let me get my coon on right quick. When a coon tells you the truth, you get mad. It's like when Charlie Kirk could say what he say, it's sad. When Jesse Lee Peterson say what he say, it's sad. What's his name? Tommy Sotomayor. Mm-hmm. When he say what he say, it's facts. Just because you don't like how he said it and it struck a heart murmur or it pulled a heartstring, you want to get mad at it. That's what I don't like about black people. Change it so they can't say it. We got stereotypes just like everybody else. And we get offended when our stereotypes get called out. And that was my coon segment. But ain't no such thing as cooning. It's fact. If somebody say, hey, you think you was in your son's life, would he still be locked up? And you say no, then that means you should have been in your son's life. If they say, never mind.
Well,
shout out to Charlie Kirk and Jesse Lee, man. But
the reason it's cooning is this, right? I'm gonna show you a prime example, Drop. Let's say, Drop, you cheat on your wife. Let's say I cheat on my wife. And every day I make propaganda about Drop cheating on his wife, acting like I care about niggas being faithful when I cheat on my wife. And guess what? If anybody try to bring up the fact that I cheat on my wife too, I find a way to get around it, connive my way around it, deflect off me, and only focus on every other nigga I'm calling out who ain't being faithful, but I know I'm not faithful. See, with a coon, right, like with Charlie Kirk, for example, he's right. Black folks got issues and problems we need to clean up. But the fact that he won't admit that white people got him too, that's the fucked up part. If I can go out there and be an advocate for niggas being faithful to their wives, knowing I'm not faithful to mine, then I should equally put myself in there too and be like, look, us people, us men need to be more faithful because we be cheating. You feel me? Otherwise, guess what, Drop? I shouldn't call nobody out and I should let niggas live if they cheat. Because if I'm going to be the advocate for loyalty and I'm cheating, then I gotta call myself out. Otherwise, don't call nobody out.
Basically, they pointing a finger. I know exactly what you're saying. Because
that's what make it cooner.
If you ain't gonna talk about the other end of it and what they doing on that side, you actually targeting at this point.
That's just like I'm gonna give you a good ass example right now. You all gonna appreciate this example. Now, you know what they doing right now? They're trying to say that, okay, Trump just came out and said that Chicago is the most violent city in the world. He said in the world. Keep in mind, people from Chicago was telling me crime has gone down in Chicago and Baltimore. Now, let me show y'all something about while they up in the ante in Chicago right now, and Trump just declared it the worst city in the world. Let me give y'all a little bit of snippet of this video from Adam Mockler. Salutes to him, and he's white, and he's not racist. But watch this. This is what's going on, what they ain't covering. Listen, I'm gonna play this, and I want you to hear this. Let me put this up. Oh, the audio going. Listen.
I have an absolutely awful breaking news story to bring you all, but this one is important. 2 teenage girls are dead after a disturbed 17-year-old stalked them for months, made posts about Andrew Tate and Charlie Kirk, and live streamed himself talking about Charlie Kirk, and then allegedly rammed his Jeep into them while they were biking, and now both of them are dead. Now, he fled the scene and has now been...
Now, listen, this Charlie Kirk fan, this Trump fan, this young damn sleeper cell killed 2 teen girls, and he didn't shoot them, straight up ran them over in the car, y'all. Do you know how terrible that is? And they was 14 and 15. Now listen, why this ain't on the news? We had the North Carolina stabbing. We had the Charlie Kirk shooting, and they still want to make it like black folks shot the man just for mocking. They covering the mocking of this dead white boy. But listen, y'all, this white on white crime. These are 2 white teens. Shout out to the sister Demi. Peace and love. We talking
Peace and love.
For sure. Welcome back. 2 white teen girls, right? Not even old enough to drink yet. Let's listen at this. Let's go.
Been charged.
This just happened 3 days ago. Who saw it on being covered?
I want to break this all down because there are live stream clips I can play you. They found his Twitter, and I do want to put a trigger warning up front. This is a uniquely disturbing video. I mean, I was sickened while reading this story. Genuinely, this one is messed up. We've covered a lot of Epstein stuff on this channel, and we've covered a lot of really disturbing stories, but this one is awful. And the stuff that this kid was posting is a really unique insight. It's a microcosm of what a lot of young men are currently going through and facing. And this is something I've been talking about on CNN a lot lately. I've been talking about algorithms.
Elder Barbara son, if you listening, I got something for you. Hold on.
And young males. I understand this culture more than a lot of people just due to my age and due to the fact that I scroll through these algorithms. Now, I'm a normal dude, so I don't get radicalized by seeing this stuff, but This stuff does exist. There's a lot of hate on the internet. I'm sure you guys see it as well. This thread on Reddit from 10-minute ads reads, a Tate and Kirk fan stalked and killed 2 teen girls. Why isn't the mainstream media or Democrats talking about this? And we're
That's the question I want to know. Now watch this. Hold on. Damn.
going to go through this post. We're going to go through the evidence. There are videos of him live streaming immediately after and talking about Charlie Kirk. This is all very sickening. And
Watch this, right? Watch this, right? I heard that Umar Johnson was trying to roast the elder. Y'all know I can roast my ass off, so yeah, let me know if y'all want that Umar roast. I think I'm gonna have to get him. People, check this out. This damn Charlie Kirk MAGA far-right vigilante rolled over a 14 and 15-year-old in his Jeep. So these 2 girls was walking together and he just hit the gas, boom. You know how much rage that take, bro, to do that? And bro, that is crazy, man. Like, they ain't even covering that. But they still sending these ICE agents to the hood. Like, that's crazy. Well, not ICE agents, but National Guard. So you got the National Guard for the niggas and you got ICE for the immigrants. What you got for the crime going on in these white neighborhoods? Because look, remember, Charlie Kirk got killed in a Utah suburb. These 2 teen girls got ran over, look, in a quiet suburb in New Jersey. If you start to do the statistics on incidents like this, you will see that these are far too many. The whole time we was talking about Charlie Kirk, that was a mass shooting from a white Navy seaman that went unreported. So there's like, I don't want to play into no race war. What I'm doing is why I'm sharing this information is to show both races, black and white, that's being played right now with these psyops, how none of it add up for both sides. So, and I'm telling black folks too, your psyop is like these kids that they said being detained in Chicago and all that. See, they running psyops for everybody. And the black folks psyop is to get them to respond to like the white folks and vice versa. But the question is, what he asked was, why didn't they cover this? Because this ain't gonna fuel the division. You know what I'm saying? This would actually be a story that would even out the narrative, and that'll balance out the chaos. That's why. Because it'll make the white folks say, well, damn, this is a sad story. Let us do kind of focus on some of our teenagers, white boys, is off the chain. And they are. I don't care what nobody say. There's a profile anywhere from 15 years old to 30, white boy, who's politically inspired. There may be dangers in there. Now they can listen. This political violence. Charlie Kirk died due to political violence. These 2 young girls was 14 and 15, and just because they had a political stance that was anti-Charlie Kirk, they got ran over, man. So they may call it political violence when you dealing with the white boys, but guess what it should be called? Gang violence. Democrats and Republicans are like Bloods and Crips, far as I'm concerned. They wear red and blue, and they've been known to they got shooters. They'll off each other. Like, this shit ain't no game, and it's getting clear now with Charlie Kirk dying, this murder. We starting to see this is how certain groups gang bang. Oh, you with that liberal shit over there? And you diss the homie who over here you dissing Charlie Kirk? That's the OG, that's the dead homie. They got a slide on that. How that's different than a gang member? I ain't gonna let y'all do that. Yeah.
That was so funny with Rob, though, the other day, man. That was hilarious when he put the mask on and he was like, man, we got a gangbanger up here. Hey,
Yeah.
But look, how much of you think that Charlie Kirk, that
think that shit fake as hell. I believe, listen, people gonna call me a tinfoil hatter till I die. And I wish people can see what I see and what many others see, bro. But a lot of shit we see on TV is scripted, fake. The fucking Apollo astronauts still alive with different identities. We've showed pictures of them. They got names that's similar to the ones they've been had. How ironic. It's crazy. Like the average citizen.
Challenger,
yeah. So
on the Challenger, when the Challenger blew up, it was Judy Resnick. She was from Akron. She actually taught at my high school.
yeah, because
And she
people
actually got a different identity.
right. Hey, you know what's crazy? People will be like, so you telling me they fake Charlie Kirk death and he's still alive somewhere? Bro, this truth ain't for everybody. About that the world is a stage, man. And the people in power are controlling the masses the same way that a playwright control his audience. Because the way that you control an audience is you know what to do on stage with the puppets to get certain reactions. Now the audience think that their reactions are free will responses, but they're not. They're written inside my script as the playwright. I know at this part when I dim the lights under the moonlight and he reaches forward for the kiss, that everyone's gonna say, oh, because I put a little silence right there in my script to allow for that. And I know that silence is psychologically gonna be filled in based on the energy of the moment and the crowd's react. See, the playwright will write certain responses into the play that he want the crowd to do, and they think they're doing it genuinely and naturally, but you're part of the play actually as the audience, you know. So the public don't know that when you cut your TV on, you're reacting to a fucking play. And they can control us. They can predict what the masses are always gonna do, just like the playwright can predict, hey, at 10 minutes here, they're all gonna reach for napkins and start crying. They do it every play. We run this play every month. The women always cry at this part. So the government don't leave nothing up for chance. Everything is a response to social engineered events. And it's so advanced that they can actually have these series of events given to them by AI. Like I told you, like some form of advanced chat GPT for the government, though, where you can say, hey, run me out 10 years of a series of events that we can manifest on a world stage that'll get us from this point to that point, like I always say. And yeah, just to answer your question, that's totally what I think about this reality we in. It's definitely scripted. It's definitely a simulation, which is why so many people that can be prophets, which is why the Bible can tell you what's going to happen. Nostradamus can tell you what's going to happen. The Mayan can predict what's going to happen next, because the people in power aren't like us, y'all. I think there's some form of advanced ancient AI that's running out of script, and when the script reaches the end, it resets to the beginning like a video game. And every real human that's born on this earth, or fake human, extra, NPCs, what they call them, are all reacting to the script. The people that ain't reacting to the script are what we call liberated ones. You're a threat to the matrix. But just to continue with this topic, the actual psyop that they running right now is specifically to bring forth a civil war to keep Trump in office. So just to cut the bull crap and go right to the nitty gritty of the agenda, and we're gonna play Tabitha Speaks video, and y'all make sure y'all sub up to her. And then when she's done, I'm gonna show y'all more of the agenda now that more of the script that they playing out, and the lies in the media. And this video here will make even more sense. Let's listen to this real quick.
They are trying it. They are trying it, black people, black Americans. They want you out in those streets. They don't want you to take a step back, take a deep breath, and look at the entire picture. They don't want you to do that. So they are using our children to try to trigger us to get out into those streets. They want you in those streets so that they can beat you black, blue, and bloody, arrest you, or murder you. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, because this was fake. Of a police officer arresting this little baby. And it's a police officer.
My bad.
This is a viral photograph of a police officer arresting this little baby. And it's supposed to be a police officer arresting this little black baby in Chicago. This is a viral photograph. And my people are deep in their feels over this photograph. It's fake. It's fake. First of all, you can't find where this photograph originated from. You only see the photograph attached to posts made about ICE. There's no video attached to it. There's no news story.
Now, I did find the video. Shout out to the sister Tabitha Speaks, but I found the actual video. And I'm going to play the video so y'all can see it, though. They definitely want a race war. Watch this right here. Look at the video. See? Do y'all think that the people who sharing this misinformation gonna come back and correct themselves on their channel when they find out the truth? Or they gonna keep, because they getting the most views? Would I correct myself if I'm eating off the videos? I mean, that's how the narrative get pushed. See, here go the video everybody looking for. So people thought it was fake because they was like, where the actual video at? See, come to find out, the video originates from TikTok, where all of the fake news originates from. TikTok is just horrible, man. But the video was an officer playing around with his son after work. And someone took the doggone screenshot when he put the cuffs on, and they made a video saying ICE is locking up black kids in Chicago. And in their video, they never played the video. They just kept a frozen screenshot, and everyone should have been like, wait a minute, where's the video for this photo? People should have known that whenever y'all go to the doggone liar, they ain't gonna play the video. Y'all don't think these liars know that there's a video of the officer playing with the child? All of the liars got that frozen screenshot when he put the cuffs on. And they making sure you don't see the smile on the boy's face. I'm gonna show you, look. Look at here. Watch this. Look, watch this. Let's play this dude video. I bet you this dude finna promote the propaganda, and he's not gonna play the video. Watch this.
It's your boy Chicago's very own James J. Hustle Hawthorne reporting to you live from GNE.
He in Chicago.
It's Ghetto News Network. And you know, it breaks my heart that if you're looking at this picture in the background, you know that it's gone super viral over the weekend. And it just really breaks my heart that black people are so gullible and naive, that you are brainwashed by the mainstream media and the left to get emotionally distraught and share things that are not true.
Thank you, brother. We gotta give him his props. Drop that man a bomb. Drop that man a bomb. Drop that man a bomb. So it's good to see that on TikTok, just as many people putting the lie out there, there are people putting the truth out there. Let's see what this person doing.
So I'm gonna need you to explain it to me like I'm 10. I want you to really.
I definitely think he about to be putting the bullshit out there. I could just tell with his energy. He about to be one of the ones that want to push the bullshit. He already extra.
Break this down.
I was really upset when I first saw this, and then I did some research and found out it was a dad playing with his son.
Oh man, that first dude was definitely finna fall for it, yo. See, but she said she was originally outraged, you know, which you probably would be. Oh, is this his video? Is this his video? Is this the one?
So I'm gonna need you to explain it to me like I'm 10. I want you to really break this down to me like I'm 10 years old and tell me why ICE agents zip tying black babies.
This is gonna be so funny. Drop a 1 if y'all want to roast, because to see people actually take this serious when we know that it's just a daddy playing with his son, it shows y'all how you look when you don't do research. But like I said, look at how many views his video got. 100,000 likes. The videos of that saying that it's a black baby being arrested are getting more views than the people that saying no, it's just a daddy playing with his son. Y'all see what I'm saying? It make me think that the police officer that's playing with his son is part of the damn psyop. He could be. He might be part of the fraternal order of the police. They probably all be in on, you know, they got people in the FTOP too. But the algorithm is pushing the misinformation and the fake news more than the truth. It ain't got no fact checkers or nothing up, y'all. Now look right here, y'all. Here go a chick named Anna. She's saying this particular picture is not showing a kid getting zip tied in Chicago. It's an off-duty officer playing with his son. Now, I bet you if I look at these replies, it's going to be a bunch of angry black people that now already got their emotions activated off this picture, mad at Anna for telling the truth. And they probably be saying stuff like, it don't matter if it's fake because I want to be pissed off and I want to go and fight a white man. And watch, let's open it up. So do you believe what he's saying isn't true? Because this is what's happening. Y'all see that? This is just the closest picture that portrays it, not that this is what's happening specifically. Why don't we care about fake news, misinformation? Why can't y'all show this picture and say, you know what? Look at this black father and his son life. Look at this. Why couldn't this picture go viral for the beautiful moment that it was? A black dad who's a police officer. He's not a gangbanger. And he's getting off work and the first thing he happy to go home to is his little man. And because we want to promote the anger, the hate, the division, and the people that's pushing it online ain't going to bust a grape, man. They ain't going to bust a grape, y'all. I'm telling you. Hold on a second, everybody. That's right. Now, this man is wrong. We know that he's wrong. But his shit got the most engagement, the most views so far than any other video we watched. Because they want to push this. And anybody come on this post and tell the truth, they gonna debate you. They gonna push back at you. People want to be lied to. The crazy thing is, we're at a point, y'all, that's dangerous. It's time to, I'm saying something I never thought I was going to say. It may be time, if it ain't time to get out of America, it's time to go to well, no, you can't do that because you got the racist whites out there see, I'm thinking it may be time to get the hell out of America. I don't know, because I don't want to say that's kind of running. But it's Babylon falling, and you stand here ain't going to hold it up. Trust me, you're going to fall. And I just hope it don't fall on us as black people. Because we are the ones that are the most gullible to the propaganda of our enemy, man. It's crazy.
Black babies.
Now, anybody come, look at here, read this post. So when do we physically start fighting back? That's what they want, y'all. They want you to go out there, get activated. Come on, man. This is crazy, bro. And it's all because people don't do research. Anybody come on here and tell the truth. Look at this dude. Sorry, but this isn't the actual picture of the situation that happened in Chicago. And he's basically saying, hey, this photo is from a video of an off-duty officer playing with his son. Even though this photo is not an example of the actual children being zip-tied, the fact of the matter is children were detained by ICE unlawful. I disagree with that. Show me a picture of it. Show me a picture of it. And also, let me explain something to y'all. If black children were detained by ICE, their parents were detained too. And they all were let go when they found out that you were a citizen and you were an immigrant or, you know, part of the Venezuelan gang member or whatever. Because I saw a news story, we're going to play it. They did raid a certain apartment complex and a lot of black people got rounded up by ICE. And when they found out who was who, right, then they actually arrested like 11 or 12 Venezuelan gang members, but they let all the black people go. And there were black people actually concurring with that story. I wouldn't be surprised if they detained the black kids as well, if they detained the Venezuelan ones to see who's who. But the point is to get y'all activated against ICE and to make black folks start trying to, because in my opinion, ICE ain't in the hood for black people. I'm going to just say that right now. ICE is not there for you. That's right. You are an indigenous person of this land, and ICE can't legally, you can't mess with black people. We built this shit. We FBA. And they can't. The only way ICE can start messing with us is if we mess with ICE. And stuff like this right here, see, because they already got the National Guard fucking with y'all. You don't see what Trump doing? He already got the National Guard police in the hood. Who else in the hood he got? ICE. He got ICE for the immigrants and a National Guard for the black folks. So why not make the two forces work in collaboration against both parties? That would be most strategic from a law enforcement standpoint. But you literally can't have ICE messing with American citizens. We ain't no immigrants. But I ain't gonna lie. If American citizens start being hostile to ICE, as a safety measure, they could push certain laws to say, well, ICE can now start kind of policing you to make sure you're not a threat, you know, when they in these communities, because ICE is in the hood, but they ain't there for black people. But see, I think that there's a push, because who got the open border laws? The liberals, right? And you see the liberals saying, trying to push this narrative. I can show you like a lot of liberal, you know, so here we go. Flashback kids, and this is CNN talking about kids and zip ties. Right? Now watch this, right? This what y'all gotta realize. They trying to make it like a kid in a zip tie is a big deal. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, really sit back and think about it, and because they're trying to make y'all overreact. Now watch this. The ICE and the National Guard are military soldiers. They train for combat situations, and the thing is this. Think of a soldier in Iraq or Baghdad they got to detain a child too. If I'm a soldier in Iraq, I'm gonna put the little bitty damn 5-year-old in handcuffs too. You know why? Because these kids got grenades, they got bombs, they got pistols. If you in Iraq, some of y'all will be dead. Because you'll be like, man, don't be putting them cups on the 7-year-old. Man, what kind of human zip ties a child? One that who know that these children can be shooters and grenade throwers and all that. See, these soldiers in the ghetto was a bad idea by Trump anyway. Don't be mad at the soldiers. They're trained that way. We gotta be mad at Trump for real. Or the soldiers doing what they're commanded to do. And in these Venezuelan gangs, they ain't gonna treat them like how they would treat a regular American. They're gonna treat them as if they're like a kid in Iraq, because they're gonna handle them like a non-American, like they would handle a non-American overseas. So it's the same thing if you flip it around and put the foreigner on my land, and I think that the foreigner is a threat on my land. They're gonna treat the Venezuelan families, the Hispanic families, like they treat kids in Iraq, y'all. They gonna restrain everybody, right? And that's just something that's just gonna see. The news are gonna say they were actually putting kids in zip ties. Okay. In my young thug voice, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo, in my young thug voice. If you didn't want kids getting zip tied, we shouldn't have never asked. See, you got people in Chicago right now talking about, we so glad that the National Guard is here because it's too much violence. I was just playing videos a couple of days, a week ago or so. Forgot, it was a while back. And it was so many people from Chicago, black people, saying, we're not mad. When Trump first sent the, Mayor, you shut my door. When Trump first sent the troops to Baltimore and sent them to Louisiana, he sent them to Chicago. And the black folks was behind him. They was like, look, the crime is out of hand. So, in the same, black people was like, not only do we want you to do something about the crime, we want you to do something about the immigrants because they taking our job. So guess what black people asked the government? Bring in the troops, please. Give us first-class service of more military power and policing. We asked for these things. There's literally a viral video on YouTube right now. It's called Black People Actually Love the Police. And it show you that most of the policy that's implemented in our communities, we voted for it and asked for it. I'm gonna share this with you. This is a good documentary to watch. From Garrison Hayes. Actually, black people love the police.
You can compare how different outlets cover the same story. Every story comes with a visual.
So here it is right here. But yeah, he'll break down that to you, that most of the shit, when we be complaining about police brutality or too much military power, police force in the hood, most of the time we advocated for, and you don't know how. Which is why I tell people we shouldn't even just we shouldn't participate in politics. It's people selling us plans to help us, but they're there to just control us at the end. But what was I though before I got all off track? Let me play this video real quick. Yeah, people gonna be like, well, it don't matter if it's fake. They doing that to kid. ICE is not zip time black babies. It'll be so many real photos of it. We don't listen, bro. Show me. That would be evidence. You don't think people gonna pull out their phone and say, look, man, look, here go ICE zip? Because think about it. If ICE is zip tying black kids, and it's a thing that they're doing that so much so that we in outcrying on social media, can't nobody produce no image or no video other than a cop playing with his damn son after work? See, we want to make this argument like this is a reality, but it's actually not, bro. See, the TV is a simulation. Don't you know they can take any group of people on earth, create a narrative about that group of people on the TV, and that group of people won't push back at the narrative. That group of people will start to embody the stereotype and actually manifest the narrative. Tell me that I'm lying. This was an experiment they did with a tribe of Indians. The news, well, not the news, but like these different knowledge channels, discovery channels, they started publicizing this remote tribe of Indians. But in their publicizing of the Indians actually start to change their traditional ways that they was doing for so many years, because they was overdoing it for the cameras once they found out. And there's a scientific fact that you ain't gonna act the same when you know you're being watched. So once that tribe know that the camera was on them, they started to exaggerate their traditions, and their whole culture became a caricature of itself based upon a media simulation, where they started to believe the things that the media, because what happened was this: when the tribe exaggerated their own culture for the camera, then the news started to push the exaggerated culture as the real thing. And that started to mutate and morph to even more trying to exaggerate the exaggerated culture. And it's a whole video you can watch on this, of how this tribe ran its own simulation on itself, and how the media will program you to actually run your own psychological operation. Like when they started saying how much crime is in the hood, more crime started to happen, because it became a competition to where, nigga, y'all ain't killing like that. Look, my city really killing like that. Y'all ain't got shooters and killers. And now crime and gangbanging is like ESPN, and the commentators for it are like your DJ Academics, your Trap Law Rosses. See, you know how NBA got Stephen A. Jackson, you know, and maybe have Jason Whitlock. You got a whole, this is like gangbanging culture is a whole industry in America that's exploited through media, while at the same time they talking about they trying to do something about it. Why would, if you know that America is in the bed with the Jews, and the Jews profit the most off the prison industry, gangbanging, the music industry, you can't step on them people's toes when they got you in their pocket. That's why it'll never get better. But check this out, right? Let's play the video, because everybody talking about ICE agents are detaining kids, right? But no one can show proof of it. It's videos of everything, viral videos, photos of all these events. But when it comes to kids being detained and zip tied by ICE, it's only word of mouth. So I would like to see some proof. I'm gonna play this and see what, I scanned it like this, and I didn't see that they was doing that but yapping their mouths.
Wanted American cities to be training grounds, and ICE listened. Donald Trump wanted American cities to be training grounds, and ICE listened. In Chicago, in the middle of the night, federal agents stormed an apartment building. Black Hawk helicopters, flashbangs, military-style trucks, all used in the raid. Now, witnesses say everyone was detained, no matter their status. Children were zip-tied together, separated from their parents. And the feds say that they arrested dozens of gang members. Also in the city, Charlie Kirk's group was given a front row seat to a raid inside a Walmart.
Amazing. Secretary Nome was here. They rolled up a couple of guys.
My bad.
And it's rowdy. There's a lot of people around. Everyone's filming. The Secretary of Homeland Security is right now doing raids at Walmart.
So, as forewarned, I mean, we have a situation in which American cities are at the...
Now, I ain't gonna lie, Trump is out of hand, though. All of this is still overboard, if you ask me. Some people may not think it. If the bigger immigrant problem in America is the small hats, because that's a whole nother nation that is acting, that is more powerful than the government of America. Like when you got Israel side by side with the American government, and Israel seemed to be our government, all of our resources going toward them. All of our military power, money. Like I can go on and on. It's like, while my thing, a person may say, well, a bigger threat, Sanchez, you wrong, is to get these Hispanics out, get the Venezuelans out. I'm gonna be honest. You want to make America great again? Get this fiat system of government out of here. Get these small hats out of here. And these sellouts out of here.
At the center of this ICE crackdown, and there's indiscriminate.
Salutes to everybody watching the show. Make sure y'all hit the like and share button. Let me give a big shout out to Ed G for becoming a member of this channel. And once again, let me give a shout out to my brother Hydrogen for coming through with that super chat. Hit the like, share button, y'all. Support the show if you can.
Use of force against Americans, non-Americans, people here legally, people here illegally. And on the right, nobody seems to care. In fact, they love it.
I saw a video from a local station in Chicago, and residents of a community there were describing an ICE raid and like what they saw. Two things struck me. One, they were talking about things that happened to them. They were talking about how they were treated as ICE raiders. These are the people that, I guess, by virtue of being born here in America, are entitled to being treated like human beings. The second thing is that they were all black. And I'm going to say something. We saw this coming. We knew the neighborhoods where ICE raids would take place. We knew that a lot of these things wouldn't happen in Beverly Hills, Coconut Grove, any of those places. We knew that there would be collateral damage, that there would be trauma that would be inflicted on our communities. We knew that people would be detained, scared. We knew that children would have to see things that they shouldn't have to see. And all of this for political theater so that we look tough on immigration for everyone. It's a horror show. And I do think if it hasn't already happened, that it'll be something that even the most conservative of Americans are tired of seeing human beings.
The one neighbor said the kids were crying. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they were bringing kids down too, had them zip tied to each other, saying that there were trucks, military-style vans used to separate from kids. What's going on?
I haven't seen any of this, so I certainly am not aware of particular neighborhoods that are targeted. Obviously, I support them finding and arresting people who are here illegally. And in the community they're in, again, I can't justify, I haven't seen which communities that they're targeting.
Well, one detail that's been left out is that they were targeting Tren de Aragua. So Tren de Aragua is a violent national gang They send illegal immigrants here to the United States. They traffic drugs. They traffic people. They commit violence. They inflict misery everywhere they go. And
shout out to Unite and Create for Life. Been a member for 2 months.
37 people were arrested. That was the purpose of the raid, the targeting of Tren de Aragua, some of the most violent people in our hemisphere. And when they come here, nothing good happens. That was
okay,
the point.
so if it was targeting, I don't think anybody has a problem with targeting. When you clear out an apartment building and you zip-tie children and you arrest and detain everyone,
I don't think it's such a big deal. I think that it's them trying to play into the narrative of the fake narrative of the TikTok viral photo. All of this is connected. Now, they ain't gonna literally share that photo because this is CNN and they know it's fake. But they gonna keep the narrative going that black kids are being zip-tied in Chicago. I'm gonna tell you why I say black kids, even though they title don't say black kids, it just say kids. If it's Venezuelan children, no one cares. That's the way ICE have been doing it. In any ICE raid, everybody know the kids get detained too. The liberals know that, the conservatives know that, that's just policy. So why would it be such a thing now in Chicago? Because the narrative they trying to sell is that, well, black kids are being, locked up and detained in Chicago, which is why you see the black Chicago people getting interviewed. Let me show you. You see this lady? Why the hell they interviewing black people when they zip-tying Venezuelan babies? And I bet you they can't show me one photo of a black child being zip-tied. A black child, give me a video photo, but they gonna interview black people like, we ain't got nothing to do with ICE, man. And see, it's so slick how they try to do it, y'all. It's just so slick how they try to do this.
We are getting new reports about a chilling and downright shocking escalation of ICE tactics against the residents of.
Well, of course, it's a big deal, JV the Great, because I'm the type guy that's like, even if it's happening to Venezuelans, like I just said, if it was up to me, ICE would be rounding up the president, the people in power, the fucking J-word people. So if it was up to me, ICE won't be messing with Hispanics and Venezuelans. They'll be messing with the real crooks and foreigners who selling this damn nation out, for sure. But the reason I'm pointing this out is because they trying to push a race war with this. They trying to activate blacks to go to war with whites, for black people to lash out against police and ICE and National Guard. If you go on some of these sites, you'll see that, because they already like, man, we need to start fighting back now. And it's because they think black babies are getting detained by ICE when that is not going on. I dare somebody to come prove it to me.
Of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes in zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
It was scary because...
So watch this, right? Let me ask y'all a question. How many people live in one of those tenement buildings in Chicago? In one tenement building in Chicago, I'm guessing that's probably damn near 1,000 people, man. Or more than that, maybe. You know what I'm saying? In one of them. So I'm probably way under my number. Drop some numbers in the chat room right now, because I'm finna show you something. A Chicago apartment building ain't like a regular apartment building, I don't think, because they got them big ass tall, their form of an apartment is like a damn, you know, lot of people be in there. But my point be, if ICE is raiding a building with this many people in it, they thinking they got to assume everyone is like part of a gang family. We don't know who the threat is. The more people, the less privileges. If I got to round up hundreds of people, I ain't got time to let everybody get dressed, let everybody make a sandwich, let everybody let me make my bed up first. So we got to be realistic too, man. Like, I ain't trying to cap for the police either. Cake for the police. I'm just saying, it's certain stuff that's just protocol and we getting bent out of shape for no reason. That's just the way it go, that the protocol go.
I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught.
Okay, well, then guess what y'all need to be mad at? All of the people in Chicago that put that mayor in office and voted for these policies, and especially the far right. But look, even that, like I said, like, you can be mad at that, but what's gonna happen regardless of even that too. Because, you know, it's all just a stage to make you vent your energy toward that, when the real truth is that it's the wealthiest people in the world controlling what happens in all of our environments. So they'll put your mayor there for you to complain to him, and put the president there, all these people for you to vent to. But nothing will never change because the pushers and movers who really making this stuff happen are far away up the food chain.
I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
I don't believe that, man, how do we know all this ain't lies? It's just us taking somebody's word at the end of the day.
They zip tied the kids together.
Show us. So they can do this stuff with no body cams. And when they do it, the same people that like to pull out their cell phones and say World Star, the same people that like to pull out their cell phones and film every goddamn thing now, when they see two kids, black kids, zip tied together by ICE, we don't want to film that. Why would I film that? Why the hell would I film that when I could just go get the damn photo of the cop playing with his son and use that? Why would I film the real thing that I just saw in front of me to go with my YouTube viral lie when I can just use the cop playing with his son?
In Chicago, because I can't for the life of me understand why this happened. Why was this necessary? These are black babies. American citizens live.
Y'all see this? These are black babies. And see, the whole thing, what I just told you, he put an emphasis on black, is because we don't care if they're detaining Venezuelan babies. Keep it real. That's right. I'm going to keep it straight up 100 with y'all. Black people don't give a crap if they zip tie two Hispanic babies together, two Venezuelan babies together. But the emphasis on these are black kids, like we gotta do something now. Because why? ICE been zip tying other people's children. ICE been zip tying Hispanic children. ICE been misplacing families that ain't never saw each other since they was rounded up. No one cared. And even though it ain't even happened to black people yet, this is a fake photo. Well, it's a real photo, but the fake story. We're already getting activated. Oh, now you want to send? See, this is just, boy. Hey, shout out to Denton. He said, "What's up, my dude? Just showing respect. And I'm tired of people lying about what happened here in Chicago. The media straight up lied. I was there." Come on, man. I bet you this dude that's talking on this viral video right now, he ain't even from Chicago. Bent wrist entered. And the whole thing is like, look at the comments. That is a baby. He not even 2. The racism. Now, everyone see that this photo got a fucking play button on it. Who can't see that play button in the middle of the photo, y'all? People can't be that dumb, y'all. It's a play button in the middle of the screenshot, and ain't nobody saying, "Hey, man, can you show me the video?" Because they don't want to see it. They want to be mad. They want to fall for the propaganda, y'all. They want to have this hate toward they want to fall for the divide and conquer tactics, which is why the people ain't going to rise up, man. The people ain't going to rise up in time. So they want to fall for this. Because if I see a play button on an image, I'm going to say, "Damn, bro, let me see the video." Why? If you really cared about that baby, you would want to see the video. But ain't nobody going to ask for it, because if they see the video, it'll take away. They know they can't produce no evidence that this is going on. But they want to now just start getting mad at ICE when ICE ain't our fight, bro. We ain't got no beef with ICE, man.
In Chicago, but ICE agents are zip tying them because they pose a threat to who? They are a danger to what? I need you to explain this to me like I'm 10. Not only why did this happen, why is there not collective outrage behind it? Why is this not on the news? Why is this not being covered? Why is this not being talked about by almost?
Because it's fucking fake. This is, you see this dude, bro? Why is this not being, I cannot believe this. He has the cuff on him. Why is this not being talked about? Why is it not being prophesied about? Huh? Why isn't anyone writing books on this? Evangelizing about it? This is nuts. He's 2 years old.
Anybody but a handful of black people in this country. So
this, and the handful of y'all stupid as hell who don't do research. He want to know why it's only a handful of us that's covering this, because everyone else did they due diligence and found out, bro, that is not what they trying to make it.
Yeah.
Now look at this dude video. It got 20 hearts on it and 2 messages. The other dude video with the fake news got what? 100,000. Look at this, 100K. All of the videos that's telling the truth about this thing. See, the algorithm ain't pushing them, y'all. Look at this one.
Go Bucket!
No engagement on the truth. Any video pushing the truth on what this is, no engagement. Any video pushing a lie, for sure. Check this out. This video got 10K. All of the viral videos with the most hearts are pushing a lie. Look at there.
They didn't just raid a cartel. They didn't just bust the doors.
And these niggas are over fucking emotional. Do y'all see this? Who paid these guys? They didn't just raid. They put zip ties on a black baby. They put little plastic strings around his wrist. This is a tragedy. Come on, my nigga. It ain't that bad, my nigga. Chill out. He'll be all right. Like, come on, my nigga. For real. You talking about zip ties on on a 3-year-old. Nigga, I've seen them put cuffs and treat 9, 10-year-olds like gangsters in my day, nigga. You little niggas had soldier rags on and had bandanas on. They was treating you like a gangbanger. Listen, if you're a 9-year-old and you got that red bandana, that blue bandana, that black bandana around your head, they don't see a 9-year-old. They see a gangster. I'm just saying. But anyway, why is that even a thing? Like, this always been the case. And my thing is, like, because it ain't like you saying where they abused the child. They physically attacked the child. They put zip ties around his wrist. This is the Holocaust, America. I cannot believe this. Do you know what a zip tie is? Do you know what a zip tie can do to a child? People, it's time that we stand up. This is a travesty. Like, are you serious?
Down of a drug ring, they walked into their own office and...
Do you know how deadly a zip tie is? And I'm just saying, now they didn't put no zip ties on no black babies, but this what they believe. Like we said, it is a officer playing with his son.
Yeah, buddy. It's your boy Chicago's very own James J. Hustle Hawthorne reporting to you live from GNN. That's Ghetto News Network. And you know, it breaks my heart that if you're looking at this picture in the background, you know that it's one gone super viral over the weekend. And it just really breaks my heart that black people are so gullible and naive, that you are brainwashed by the mainstream media and the left to get emotionally distraught and share things that are not true.
Come on.
Black people, stop being so easily manipulated. Do your own research on things. I know I've seen this video way before this raid. This was months ago I've seen this video. And I had to actually go find it to show you all proof. And I'm about to show you the video in just a second. But black people, please stop being used and manipulated.
Because it shows the world that we stupid AF. That we just stupid as dumb as, oh my God. Like, bro, it's embarrassing.
By the Democrats. They want you to be emotionally distraught. They want you to be angry. They want you to get out here and riot. And
at this time, I'm gonna start a goal that we're gonna of 5 people. We need 5 people to send in super chat $5. We will extend the show. Appreciate everyone for being in attendance for tonight. Small goals, like I say. Salutes to everyone.
Do all type of crazy things because you're assuming that this is a child that was detained by ICE and zip tied behind his back, and it's not true. This child is actually playing cops and robbers with his father, which is a black cop, not from Chicago and not an ICE agent. So I'll show you the video right now.
I want you to really break this down to me like I'm 10 years old and tell me why ICE agents zip tying black babies in Chicago, because I can't for the life of me understand why this happened. Why?
Meanwhile, this is what's happening to black children in our neighborhoods.
Hey, so all right, so apparently my video yet going viral again. Literally, this is us. But if y'all don't know, me, myself, and my son, we live in Texas. We don't live in Chicago. Me and my son playing cops and robbers. Got a whole series on my page. I'm trying to figure out why people lying to make it political. Don't fucking know, but it's sick as hell. And
you know what? I ain't gonna lie. If this story keep going viral, I'm gonna motherfucking go on one of these coon red pill platforms and show how black folks is gullible and falling for stuff. I'm gonna have to hit up Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm gonna have to hit up some. Yep. Because guess what, y'all? This gotta stop. I got to go. It got to be some kind of tactic I can use to make black folks stop this. And I think embarrassment is gonna work here. It's stupid. You ain't doing no research. This is a black man playing with his goddamn son. This is a video y'all could have used to show the goodness of great black fathers, but you taking it and using it to make black folks mad at ICE with your dumb, misdirected, dumbass emotions that's triggered out of for nothing. You're psychopathic. Easily, anybody can put a battery in their back for any reason. They'll fall for, man, we got, so it don't. And then when you tell them that the photo fake, if you show them this, they gonna wanna maintain their energy. And they gonna say some shit like, who cares if the photo fake? I still wanna go to war, nigga. Step into a Slim Jim. Shout out to Celestial Love. Thanks for all that you do. Thank you so much. Hey, shout out to Celestial Love and Charlie. Thank y'all so much. Support goal. Much respects to all. Appreciate both of y'all guys. Thank you for the super chats. We only need 3 more people to send in $5 to meet our little small goal. But check this out, right? This is just, it's very embarrassing that it makes you angry, bro, because it's like that, and everybody want to go with this narrative. It show you how easily controlled we is. A big shout out to Adam H for helping us reach that goal. Mad love, Adam H. Appreciate that super chat. Shout out to Pop Off Podcast. Appreciate the love, Pop Off. We only 2 people away from our small goal. Thank y'all so much.
Y'all need to find Jesus.
So fucking.
And don't nobody wanna be wrong. So you know what they gonna say? So you being a coon. Don't nobody care if it ain't real. I bet you the narrative gonna shift to, we don't care if it ain't real. We wanna be mad at ICE. And I'm gonna show y'all how I know this is a psychological operation to show that this group of people is ignorant as fuck. Because watch this, just not even a year ago, we was saying ICE, ICE, baby. When ICE was detaining and getting these Hispanics up out the West Coast. Come on, drop a 1 if y'all remember it in the chat. I wanna make sure I ain't just rewrite history. I'm not gonna go further till I see. Drop a 2 if I'm wrong. Drop a 1 if I'm right. Shout out to JV, the great salutes, JV. Appreciate that love, man. We only 1 person away from reaching our small goal. He said, appreciate you for telling the truth, 100. Black folks are too gullible and the left will continue to use it to their advantage. Facts. Big old facts. But I'm gonna show you why it's even dangerous than me and JV thought. Hey, shout out to Hydrogen, man. We just reached our goal. Appreciate y'all for real. Appreciate the love, Hydrogen. And I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, right? Even when black people realize that their anger toward ICE is, because remember now, up until now, these same people been celebrating ICE. Guess what? I remember not even a few months ago, I was debating a bunch of black folks who was like, Sanchez, why you beefing with ICE? They ain't black people problem. They getting them immigrants out of here. That's the one thing Trump doing right. And I was telling them, listen, bro, if Trump can kick them out, maybe they can kick us out later. They can't kick us out. And we was debating on that, right? But the whole thing is now they're saying we worried about ICE, like fuck ICE. We want to have smoke for ICE. They went from pro-ICE, singing songs to the immigrants. ICE, ICE, big. A shout out to Walk with the Pride. Salutes, appreciate the donation. He said, call me Pele. The goal has been met. Salutes to everyone who helped us do that and to everyone who's still supporting the show. Shout out to everyone that hit the Cash App. It's $ Bro Sanchez TV to the people who was asking earlier in the chat. Let me give a big shout out to the sister Demi. Appreciate the donation. Much love and respect. This is crazy because I'm going to show y'all how deceptive they are. On the news, they interviewing black people about kids being detained by ICE. But really, y'all, you should be, listen. The crazy thing about this is black people know ICE detained kids. What they didn't know is that ICE detained black kids. For example, when I was telling Negroes that ICE is splitting up Mexican families, Hispanic families, children are getting separated from their parents and stuff, they was like, it ain't our problem. But there's a fake photo online of a black child getting detained by ICE and everybody going crazy when the photo ain't even real. And the same people that was just mimicking another group for going through oppression to the white man is now like, wait a minute, it's a black baby. They put the emphasis on black, but they detaining a black baby. It's like, okay, so think of how evil this is, right? We call these people devils in power. But when the devil do it to another innocent group, we cheer for it. And then when we even think that it's happening to us, we go crazy and want to go to war with the devil when we was just cool with the devil. Niggas was just taking up for the devil saying, look, Sanchez, thanks to Trump, he getting them immigrants up out of here. That's the only thing he doing right. So you saying that the devil is doing you a favor. And I was telling y'all then, what if he do it to you? Well, he ain't gonna do it to us. And he ain't done it to us, but y'all think he doing it to us and y'all going crazy. Which showing you I was right all along that you hypocrites. An injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere.
They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
They zip tied the kids together. ICE put out a statement saying they were pursuing.
So you telling me ICE don't got to wear body cams? Come on, wear Chat GPT. Let me go and go get Chat GPT. Let me see. Yes. ICE Customs and Enforcement, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, aka ICE, is required by policy to use body-worn cameras in law enforcement situations, though not always in every circumstance. Damn. And you ain't never got the body cam for this fake news. That's what we always like to say, receipts. But you know one thing about receipts? If you're MSNBC, you don't need them. If you CNN, you don't need them. If you Fox, you don't need them. It's like the bigger your platform is, the less receipts you need. Tell me I'm lying. The more subscribed, the bigger your platform is, The less people question you, they treat your word like God. It's a form of idolatry. If your channel's small, you better have 2 briefcases full of receipts for everything you say. If you say the sky blue, you better have a Bible worth of receipts. But if you CNN, you can spew all kind of propaganda unchecked, and people gonna say, but it was on the news. Like the news is the authority, like that's the truth because it was on the news. I saw it on the news, Sanchez.
Trinidad Aragua gang members. But U.S. citizens living in the building say they were detained too. The cops told them that if they had any unrelated warrants, they wouldn't be going back home. 37 people were ultimately arrested after agents separated children from their parents on the street. And if you're looking at this and asking yourself, how is this legal? That is the right question to ask.
You know what I don't like, bro? Because these liberal platforms know that this is an immigration issue that ain't got nothing to do with blacks for real. But so why in the hell are you even interviewing black people? Because you're trying to make the narrative look a certain way. Like this is happening to black kids and black people in Chicago. And y'all just so happen to put all this out in the same time frame of this fake viral TikTok photo. Come on. We see it.
And it has kind of an answer. And to understand it, you have to go back to Los Angeles this summer, where federal immigration agents started pushing the envelope on orders from the White House. They raided Home Depot parking lots and Walmart lots, and they grabbed.
See how you said that the ICE still ain't raided the hood yet. You heard what he just said. So why didn't you interview them people? Why are you interviewing Tiffany? See, that's why I tell them if I was black folks, like, y'all ought to treat the news like the police. I don't want to talk. I don't know what happened. Leave me alone. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Stay out of it. You don't, the news people interviewing folks, they might not even know that they finna be part to sell some narrative or psyop with the question they asking you. And people thirsty for the camera, for the mic. You know what I'm saying? This may be their own implants though.
Grabbed people they saw. Near one Home Depot, masked agents with batons grabbed Narcisco Barranco, who has lived in the U.S. for more.
I ain't gonna even lie, they fucking him up. See, y'all don't want this because these them Proud Boys. Oh yeah, that's them boys right there. They gonna mess you up. See, you don't want, black folks don't want no problems with these white ICE agents. Chill out, bro. You're already dealing with the National Guard. See what they doing, man?
More than 30 years, and have.
I'm just saying, bro, look at how they doing this, man. ICE is not like the National Guard. They fucking him up. And you Negroes, and look at what's on the ground. A weed eater. Come on, people. Look at the weed eater on the ground. They're beating up a damn working immigrant. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Oh, this just broke my heart. This dude got a fucking weed eater. Y'all see that? Let me blow that up. That's a weed eater, y'all, on the ground. So Trump telling me that they fucking going to go get gang members. Listen, y'all, this ain't right. They telling us that they're going to detain Venezuelan gang members, and you fucking with a Hispanic with a weed eater outside of Home Depot. What? And y'all beating this dude like that? This making me think that this some whole white supremacist type. Under Trump, we about to send the goddamn boys out, and we sending the ICE out to the immigrants and the National Guard out to the niggas type shit.
Has 3 sons serving in the Marine Corps. Agents beat Barranco on the ground.
Wow, he got 3 sons in the Marine Corps. This dude is in a pickup truck with a weed eater. This is not a gangbanger. What the? See, people, this is crazy. See, This is real crazy.
The White House. They raided Home Depot parking lots and Walmart lots, and they grabbed people they saw. Near one Home Depot, masked agents with batons grabbed Narcisco Barranco, who has lived in the U.S. for more than 30 years and has 3 sons serving in the Marine Corps. Agents beat Barranco on the ground, dislocating his shoulder before detaining him. In Van Nuys, agents raided a car wash.
Damn, bro, ICE is out of control. ICE is out of control. Like, these is mass gangsters. Look at this, man. They stomping motherfuckers out. And these people that's at their place of work.
Sending patrons and workers scrambling before the 79-year-old owner, who is a...
They dislocated that dude's shoulder. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, this is kind of crazy, man. Trump tripping.
U.S. citizen.
He's turned on American citizens, bro. Like the war is on us for real.
Named Rafi tried to ask them what they were doing.
That is when Rafi was taken down by agents and eventually handcuffed. Rafi says he was injured in the process.
And they sit on me. It's in my elbow about a week ago.
Yeah, that ain't right at all. At all. And guess what? The whole thing about it is we should want to stand up and do something about it because it's wrong, period. Period. Because when they push this narrative like black versus white, then once the black folks say they want to get involved, it turns into this whole disdain for all white people. But no one never direct their energy toward the powers that be, these ICE agents, the national, because think about it, you got a lot of folks saying, we want the National Guard in the hood. We want them to come police us. The gang violence is out of hand. But now y'all saying, fuck that, y'all are too violent or, it's too much brutality. We ask for it. Then when we get what we ask for, it's like, it's too late. They there now.
But Brother Sanchez, did you hear that they saying that they're gonna this is the immigrants is telling us as Americans that they are going to start deporting us Black Americans?
Well, this is the media trying to paint a narrative that don't exist. That's all it is.
And it's in my arm.
Rafi says he and 5 others at his car wash were taken to a federal detention center downtown. We're still working to learn more about why they were detained.
And that man is not alone.
Look how you got my hand. You're twisting that. I'm American, bro. Yo, these guys are literally based off of skin color. My homie was born here just because of the way he looks.
Agents kept stopping people they suspected of being undocumented immigrants for no reason other than they weren't obviously white. Like Brian Gavidia, the man you saw there, the 29-year-old.
This is crazy, bro.
American. He wasn't arrested, but he says agents went through his phone for 20 minutes and kept his real ID card. Now, these are obvious violations of people's core constitutional civil rights, their right to equal protection and the freedom from unlawful searches and seizures. And victims filed a class action lawsuit. And after an entire bench trial, a federal judge sided with those victims and ended the ICE sweeps. And in her ruling, she wrote, "It is illegal to conduct roving patrols which identify people based upon race alone, aggressively question them, and then detain them without a warrant."
Now watch how correct. I'm going to show y'all why America is cooked like a motherfucker, right? Because America says we want to do something about illegal immigrants. These illegal immigrants are hurting Americans, and they're from different races that did not come here legally. So now the judge is saying you can't identify who's illegal or not just by looking at their race. America is becoming a simulation and a caricature and a paradox, man, because it's like, if you think about it, that's stupid as hell, because we're saying we got to get the illegal races, because if you think about it, that when you talk race, that's like their ethnicity, their nationality. Maybe they're Mexican, or maybe they're you know, whatever nationality. That's their race is tied up into where they're from. So if the problem is illegals coming over here, which are non-Americans, which are people that don't fit the normal American races that exist within this land legally. But see, at the same time, America got all these sensitive race policies that the two conflicting with each other. Can anybody else see it? Because we saying, America is saying we got to get the immigrants out, but it's also saying, but you can't identify people by race. Well, you can't get the damn immigrants out. That's stupid as hell. That's stupid. Yo, this country is becoming a real joke, man. Real talk, bro. That's crazy. Like, how do you identify an immigrant? You look, skin color, hairstyle. Like, come on, tell me that ain't what you looking for. Bro, this is real fucking crazy.
Without their consent and without reasonable suspicion that they are with status. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. An appeals court.
And I ain't even on the police side, because what they did to them people was wrong. But I'm just showing you how cooked the whole situation is. Like, and it's such a like contradiction.
Upheld her injunction against ICE. You have to stop doing this. And so the Trump administration took the issue to the Supreme Court. And lo and behold, last month, the court's 6-3 conservative majority voted to just let Trump and ICE continue for now, as the case works its way up, to use racial profiling in their immigration raids, halting the lower court's decision, saying, go ahead. Now, they gave no reasoning or explanation for their decision, silent, except Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who wrote a short concurring opinion saying there's absolutely no problem whatsoever with racially motivated stops by law enforcement. Quote, if the officers learn the individual they stopped is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the U.S., they promptly let the individual go. Welcome to the era of what critics call the Kavanaugh stop. Carte blanche for ICE to continue violent, warrantless raids and stops all over the country to undocumented immigrants, lawful residents, and American citizens alike. Like Leonardo Garcia Venegas. You see him there, being cuffed roughly by ICE agents on a construction site where he was working. Vargas showed the agents his real ID as proof of citizenship, and they told him he was lying.
Wow, this is crazy, man.
It took hours to get him out of custody, so not exactly expeditious. And then, get this, 2 weeks later, ICE arrested him again at another work site. He's now suing the government. The consequence of all this is what we're seeing now in the dead of night in Chicago. Dozens of federal agents raiding an entire apartment building with...
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you normally find Venezuelan gang members at fucking construction work sites? This is how I know ICE is full of BS. Trump telling us he looking for nothing but the gang members. With y'all going to Home Depot, y'all going to construction sites instead of high violent crime areas where these gang members thrive and dwell. I'm hella confused.
With kids in it, just to see what they can find. It's the most egregious abuse of our basic rights.
We're gonna go get those gang members. Pull me over here to Home Depot real. See that motherfucker with that weed eater right there? Let's get him. And you passed all by the nigga with the tattoos. The real Venezuelan gang member. That's crazy as fuck. This is crazy.
American, I've seen it a long time, maybe my lifetime. And it comes 2 weeks after Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem posted a hype video of another violent ICE raid with helicopters and grenades, this time on a house in the Chicago suburbs. And guess what? 2 U.S. citizens were mistakenly arrested.
Right, Chuck. Like, I guess they part-time gang members. I never heard of a part-time gang member. You know, I'm a gang member sometimes, but you know, sometimes I'm a cosmetologist. I do hair on the side.
You know, there's a reason the American founders put the right to be free from unlawful searches and seizures in the Bill of Rights from the start. Masked secret police profiling people and now targeting entire apartment buildings, making everyone prove they're not guilty of something, is the province of tyrants. It is the opposite of American.
And if a person say, but Sanchez, a gang member can work a job, you right, and them the ones you shouldn't be profiling. That's your Nipsey Hussle. You see what I'm saying? So the moment you tell me that, then I'm going to say that's even more racist. Okay, a man may be part of a gang because once he born in and get in, he in that. That don't mean he live that lifestyle and push and promote that. So that's another thing too.
And I don't.
And I ain't trying to make it like Nipsey Hussle was some damn angel either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that what they're painting is these dudes that's out on the streets all day terrorizing the communities. If they at work when everybody else at work, when they get off work, they too damn tired to be gangbanging. Who want to go to work for 10-hour shift, cutting grass in the hot ass sun? Then I got to get off work, take a shower, put my gangbanger gear on and go do drive-bys. And if I'm selling drugs in the damn community, making thousands of dollars, why the hell am I cutting grass anyway? None of this don't make sense to me.
Hey, Scott, hold on, Scott. You and me, we're talking here, okay? If they arrest children, they arrest everyone, citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty, for no matter how long. You are fine with that.
They didn't arrest children, but
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip ties. But if that makes a difference to you, go ahead.
Here's what makes a difference to me. If the federal government knows that there is a nest of Tren de Aragua in a city like Chicago, they have a responsibility. They have an obligation to go get them. It is unfortunate, to answer your question, that there are children put in harm's way by these violent gangs. But that is going to be the reality.
Or is it unfortunate, or is it a violation of their rights?
But y'all telling us about these violent gangs, and we only see ICE at the Home Depot messing with niggas with weed eaters. This is a damn circus, man. I got to cover this. I got to go cover this,
rights is the question. Because, I mean, in this country, we have rights against searches and illegal
you're suggesting
searches
these children should be effectively proven shields for.
You see this guy? Show me the children that's being zip tied, because that's what we see on the caption. Kids and zip ties. The news ain't got to have no damn receipts.
Tren de Aragua.
What I'm asking, hold on, I want to make it clear.
Tren de Aragua.
I don't like. I know that Tren de Aragua and gangs and whatever, it's a catch-all to treat people however you want, to go in there and shred the Constitution or whatever else it is that you want to do. What I'm asking you is this: do you think that children should have been zip-tied and pulled out of an apartment complex?
And see, both sides are full of it, because everybody on the same team to push the same agenda. Why are y'all interviewing these black people? It wasn't no black kids that was zip-tied. Sanchez, why does that matter? Why does that color part matter? Because the black people up here that's trying to activate black people to get mad arguing with this white man know that this ain't got nothing to do with us. These the same black people that was celebrating when ICE was zip-tying the other people, children. So they look like they only using these black people on the news to push division, to activate y'all to act like it's a concern of ours. And in the case of the immigrants, it let y'all know we ain't really got no beef with ICE doing it to nobody else. Because why? That's divisive. They gonna let us push that. So when ICE rounding up somebody else, they know the black folks gonna celebrate. And this right here, what's crazy about this, it shows you the hypocrisy for one. But number two, it shows you the lack of evidence. It shows you the psyops that they run, because we've watched several news videos and nobody showed receipts of kids in zip ties. ICE officers got body cams. So when they don't have receipts, that's when they engage these little debates like this. And at the end of it, people be like, man, that's messed up. They had choosing sides. Never saying, wait a minute, can you show me the kids in the zip ties? Where's the receipts? This is why the news don't need receipts, because they are geniuses at putting a narrative out there in a very psychological way to make you bypass any proof to even prove it first. It's the way they present it to you. You know what I'm saying? You just don't question it. People will lead this and look at this video, and that's enough for them, you know?
And traumatized like.
And the narrative they gonna walk away with is, man, they putting black children in zip ties because they got the black people up here advocating against the zip ties in the light of this psyop. And honestly, I think that the police right here is not part of the psyop, because he came out with a video clearing it up. But the news still building off of it by saying kids and zip ties, because that was literally the words that was used when this went viral. You know, that he was zip tied. Because listen, if you look at I'm gonna show you how you know I'm right and I did my due diligence.
I don't know.
If you look at the video, he's not even putting the boy in a zip tie. He putting him in handcuffs. Let me show you.
Meanwhile, this is what's happening to black children in our neighborhoods.
Look. Hey, so.
Watch this, y'all.
All right, so this is us. But if y'all don't know, we live in Texas. We don't live in Chicago. Playing Costa Robbers, got a whole series on my trying to figure out why people lying to make it political. Don't fucking know, but it's sick as hell. And
right.
Y'all need to find Jesus.
Right. Now, it ain't even zip ties, it's handcuffs. Look. By the way, there is no zip tie container in law enforcement. What you saw him open up was his handcuff case. In other words, police don't have no container to put the zip ties in. They have this little, I guess like a strap that go around the belt, and you'll see them sometime with the zip ties there, or they'll go get them out the car out there. And then they saw the TikTok videos, and they're trying to sell the same narrative in the wake of the TikTok virality. So they're using zip ties for the algorithm. If you get in this comment section, I bet you it's a lot of black people. I bet you it is. Because it's the way they've promoted it. Now, you know that CNN is up on TikTok culture because they use the word zip tie instead of handcuff. And that's important, because if kids were being handcuffed by ICE, then guess what? ICE got body cameras. Number one. Number two, it's just protocol. Think about this. Black people ain't never been outraged when ICE have zip-tied other race children. So why is these black people on CNN outraged? Because they're trying to push the idea that it's black kids being zip-tied. And they're doing it in the wake of this viral video on TikTok that's saying that kids in Chicago is being zip tied, but it ain't even a zip tie. But see, when this fake news went viral, it was already under the algorithm of zip tie. So if you want to push this lie for views, and you know how the algorithm work, because we all know how it work if you're a content creator, you don't want to be the content creator that break the chain and reinvent the wheel, because the algorithm already programmed with zip tie. If I want to feed into this TikTok algorithm and virality, I can't say handcuff, because it's going to lead back to the real video of the daddy handcuffing his child and the real video. You get what I'm saying, y'all? Handcuff, keyword for algorithm, that's going to lead you to the non-viral videos that's telling the truth if you say handcuff. If you say zip tie, that's already linked to all of the algorithm of, man, they doing this to black babies in Chicago. They zip tying them. Yeah, they zip tying them. But then when you look for the truth, actually it's a dude playing cops and robbers with his son, and he handcuffed him. He was just playing. But the algorithm is very tricky too. And they know that. But the whole thing is this. We know for a fact that's what they doing, because it's saying the description, which most people ain't gonna read. Most of the people involved in this Operation Midway Blitz was Venezuelan. If most of the people involved in this was Venezuelan, why are you interviewing black people on here? Because in any other case, they don't interview black people. You know why? Black people too busy celebrating when there's other people babies. That's right. The majority of black people in America saying that that's the only good thing Trump doing. Because they got us divided against these immigrants and stuff. So black folks ain't never cared about ICE doing whatever they want to do to the immigrants. They only caring now because they think this is happening to black babies in Chicago, and CNN know that that's what Negroes think, but that ain't really happening. That's why none of these news outlets gonna show y'all real receipts of black babies being detained by ICE. They ain't gonna do it. They just gonna stage little debates like this and sell a narrative.
Like that, yes or no?
I don't think children should be put in harm's way by transnational gangs.
Just answer the question. Yes or no? Do you think that children?
I don't accept the premise.
See, why he going? These are the same people that was on here months ago, were in the streets saying that we need to get the immigrants out and all that.
I'm asking
the
you,
government's not putting children in harm's way. Trinidad Aragua.
Real calm now. Real calm. Like
they're the ones putting children in harm's way.
Gentlemen and gentlemen, we have a responsibility for the way we treat people with the power that we have here in America. And we have a standard that we should treat human life with. And I'm asking you very clearly, concisely, should children be treated that way? Does Scott Jennings like that?
I don't accept the premise of your question.
All right, cool.
I don't believe that the premise of your question is accurate. I would ask you back. Should children be allowed to live in an apartment building with Trinidad Aragua? Should the entire community of Chicago have to live with Trinidad Aragua because they hide behind these children?
But here's the thing.
That's my question.
I think the answer to that is clear. No, they should not be put in harm's way. But the difference is in this situation is I don't want to be Trinidad Aragua. I don't want my law enforcement to act like Trinidad Aragua. That is the distinction.
You don't want to leave?
Yeah, that is stupid, because if you want ICE to get the gang members out of your neighborhood, but don't act like gang members, then they ain't gonna be able to get them out. I'm sorry. You got to meet force with force. See, you see a woman saying that too.
Do you just want to leave it and say, well, they have kids in there, let's just move on?
No, but can't law enforcement figure out a way? I don't think this is the first time children have
They figure out a way to safely remove the violent people, to safely get rid of the goddamn people that will chop your head off and shoot up the whole goddamn block. You see what I'm saying? This is so stupid, man.
Been in an environment where dangerous people have been around them, and I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip tied and carried out like animals.
It doesn't matter if you zip tie a damn child. I don't think that's such a big deal, me personally. I just don't. If ICE is going in and handling with people that are what they deem domestic terrorists, because that's what they're calling immigrant gang members, they're treating it like a domestic terrorism situation. How do they handle terrorism overseas? They treat the kids like a threat too. Because what she don't know is in a lot of these immigrant gangs, the shooters start at 10 and 11. You got kids that's MS-13 that's 11 years old that'll probably blow your noodle loose. But see, this is what they ask for something, then when they get it, they want it to, but do it my way. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna be your way. You ain't a police, you don't do law enforcement work. So when you call the police, that's the same way when a black woman called the police on her damn man. And when the police go to get physical with that nigga, don't hurt him, don't do it like that. But you call them, though, why the hell you call them and you want them to do it your way? You want them to tame the monster your damn way. And it's the same situation here. Yes, we want them to come and get the gangsters out, because they're terrorizing us, but we want them to get the gangsters out in a nice way. You want the police to get the fucking people that's you want them to be nice to the people that's being mean to you.
And by this calculation,
guess what? They gonna go up in the school and they gonna get physical with them. When should they be nice to the gang member? And that was a dumb ass example. Because a gang member in a school can easily be identified. You got a bunch of little kids around a grown dude with tats all over his face and all that being violent. When would I have to zip tie the students? I can go right to the threat and neutralize it. In the case of immigrant gangs, the kids may be part of the gang. The thing what's so silly about what she's saying is that what if there's a gang member in the school? What if the students are the fucking gang members? You ever thought about that, you damn genius? If a student is part of a gang and he got a gun, he's gonna get treated. Yeah, he's a child, but he's gonna get treated like a grown man. They gonna give him the business because it's a lethal situation. That's what I'm saying. No, this is stupid.
it would seem like the children in the school, in order to get that one gang member or two gang members.
You see how silly this is? She's separating gang culture from students. You see how silly that is? When the students start, the gang members get initiated in the gang when they in middle school and all that. Some of them get initiated on the set in the 5th grade, 6th grade. Some of them are born in that shit from little bitty babies, man. They was throwing the set up at 4 years old. But she won't know that, which is why certain people shouldn't speak on this.
Handcuff the whole biology
It's not one gang member. It's 37
well,
people in an apartment building.
It's a large apartment building. That's part of the fact pattern here. I mean, here's another one from our reporting. Tenants said it appears everyone in the building was detained by federal officers, including U.S. citizens. It was scary, said.
My back, core, whatever. Hold on. bad, however you pronounce the Q word, I didn't mean to block you. I was trying to pin your joint so they can ask, so we can see where you on point with it. But it won't let me do, it's gonna let you back out to 30 minutes anyway though. I'm thinking like you was trolling me on the audio.
One, because I had never had a gun in my face. That person.
Shout out to Ezekiel the God. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Flat power. Appreciate the love. As always.
Lives in the building. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? I told them, no, I didn't. Fisher, this person says, she was handcuffed anyway before being released around 3 a.m. and was told anyone with outstanding warrants, even if it was unrelated to immigration, would not be released. So in the, again, like people live in apartment buildings all over this country.
I promise that.
Is that where
Wait a second.
Should I just go to an apartment building and hide?
Wait. I'm talking about the way that citizen of this country was treated. By the way, I just want to be clear. I think that everybody that's creating the
but the whole thing about this is so silly because ICE is beating up old men at work. The dude they beat up in the red shirt, that don't look like a child being zip tied. That's what I'm telling you about these narratives. If ICE is zip tying children, why are you showing me video footage of other incidents besides that what you put in the title? It's almost like the news can get away with clickbait and no receipts. The whole joint about children being zip tied and we don't see nothing, no visuals of that. And then, you know, it's just, hey, shout out to Kristen Smith. Appreciate the love, y'all. I really appreciate the support.
Should be treated with respect. And I thought that part of the American ideal was that, but that's gone. I promise y'all will still be invited to Mar-a-Lago if you say that it is wrong that children were zip tied and that American people, American citizens were detained without any warrant.
That's wrong. I'm with him on that. But the whole thing about the children zip, see, here's how they gonna get you. We know ICE is wrong for going, but see, at the same time, here it is, right? ICE is thinking the gang member may have a job, or you know how some people say, well, I'm gonna sell drugs, but I'm gonna still have a job to kind of cover it up. Maybe that's a out I can give them. But I don't want to really give them that because that's just, come on, bro. Like a Venezuelan gang member, most of them have a bunch of tattoos. You can identify that they part of a gang and stuff for the most part. The way they walk, talk. They have a whole department to do what's called gang profiling. See what I'm saying? So, I mean, you should know that that dude with the weed eater who got all these cards and he got his, see, that dude had a real ID. You know he's legal. That's an American citizen, but he's Hispanic. They was wrong for doing that. So ICE is like, there's a lot of racist people in these organizations. Real talk. And ICE, it seems like they abusing their power to just hassle any ethnic group they don't like, is what I'll say.
Or suspicion.
Briefly detained? In an effort to get 37 Trinidad members?
So tell me. So
what you're suggesting is that no enforcement can take place.
Would you be okay being detained so that the gang members, would you be okay with your rights being violated and you be held until 3 a.m. with your family member not knowing why? Is that okay? Because that's not okay with me.
Everybody here seems to believe that if you're Trende Aragua, you can go hide in an apartment building, and because there are other people there, you just get to be left alone. That is not a reasonable enforcement position.
He is right about that, though. If I got to go in this building to get these 2 illegals out, for example, then some of the people who are legal in the building may be hassled as well. He might try to blend in with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
There's another option here, and it's actually an option that's utilized by law enforcement every single day in this country. When they are looking for violent people, they go look for those violent people. They do not subject the people around those violent people who have nothing to do with them.
That is true. But this is kind of a different situation in the case of a raid. Now, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I would use discernment as an officer and know, okay, in my opinion, I don't think you gotta zip tie the children, because that would be you just being extra paranoid. But polices don't live their career off of opinions and shit. They say that the more paranoid you are, the better chances you are of going home at every night. So you got to think, you talking about a career field where extra paranoia is actually promoted, that's celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So zip tying a kid is totally okay with them. And it was okay with black people, though, when we didn't think it was happening to black babies, is what I was saying.
With arrest, with guns in their faces, with being searched, with being zip-tied and handcuffed and detained. Every day in America, law enforcement does their jobs, and they don't do it like this. So why is suddenly this okay?
Every day in America, you're not necessarily dealing with the most violent people in the hemisphere.
Yes,
we're not.
That's who is living in this country.
Scott, there are violent people who are right here in this country, American citizens. They are in gangs. They were born here. Their parents were born here. Their grandparents were born here.
Believe me, we know.
Those people are dealt with by law enforcement every day. Again, it's a real basic question. If you lived in an apartment building and there happened to be somebody who was guilty of a terrible crime in that building, and law enforcement barged in, guns blazing, and put every single person in that apartment building under arrest, you would be fine with that, including you and your family.
Not everybody is.
That's just stupid, because the police wouldn't put everybody under arrest. They would detain everybody. For example, right? Let's say all of y'all living in this apartment building. There's a dangerous cartel member living in that apartment building who's a hitman for the cartel. But he didn't tell none of y'all that live in the apartment building. So y'all invited him to the damn party. But here go ICE coming to raid the apartment, and y'all got this goddamn cartel member at y'all domino party. Guess what? When ICE go up in there, they putting everybody in zip ties, because they gotta assume maybe all of y'all are part of the cartel. Maybe y'all affiliated with this cartel member. He's around y'all. They gonna figure that out later, and then you'll be fine, and they'll have who they came for. So I don't understand everything ain't a reason to get mad at the authorities, even though the hell with the authorities, in my opinion. But in this case, they trying to activate us for another agenda. This is the trick bag right here.
He is under arrest. They arrested 37 people.
Scott,
They arrested
Scott,
37. You said everybody. It's not. It's 37 people.
This person was sleeping in their bed, and they were detained. They were put in handcuffs and detained until
Neither you nor I was there.
Neither
you nor I were there. But I know this. Now 37
you and your family,
violent people are now off the street.
Scott, you and your family, you are in an apartment building. You and your family, you would be fine with your liberty being held up, your kids.
Your liberty being held up, AKA being detained till they can figure out the situation, then you're free to go. It happens. If you're in a car with a criminal, he ain't gonna tell you how hot he is. He gonna act like it's all good. And if the police pull the car over and he know he wanted for murder, they gonna handcuff all of y'all and treat all of y'all violently because you're around a murderer. But you can talk crap, get loud, but the police got to assume you may be birds of a feather flock together. Why don't you think the police believe that too? They believe that too. Everybody around the suspect gonna get seen as a suspect or can potentially be seen as a suspect or an aid to him. And until they can figure that out, man, everybody's hands need to be controlled. Because if I bust up in the room and see the man that I came to detain and all of y'all chilling and cool with him, I'm going to say to myself, okay, not only do we need to put handcuffs on Pablo Escobar, but we need to put handcuffs on all of his friends too that's at this card party till we can see who's who. Because while we detaining Escobar, God forbid somebody get crazy or want to do, no. The police are trained to get control over the situation. So when they come into a building, all perceived threats will be neutralized lethally or non-lethally, and the most non-lethal way is let me tie your hands up. Now I know you can't harm me. So that's what they complaining about. Would you be mad that the police detained you for it? Bro, it happens all this regular protocol. If everybody in the car getting handcuffed till they can figure out what was what.
Your wife, your children, being detained for any amount of time because somebody in that building was a criminal, you'd be fine with that?
And my thing is, this black woman got more energy toward them doing this to immigrants. Or in this case, they don't even think that it's immigrants, right? They think it's black people. But my thing is, they so used to the police doing it every day, they don't say nothing. But when ICE do the same shit in their mind, we gonna go crazy. Because the regular police, Chicago Police Department do this probably worse than ICE. Because they gonna make sure that when they go up in the building, everybody getting in cuffs till they can figure it out. It's the regular police department. So if you cool with that, everyone know that's how the regular police is in the hood. No one even argue with it. It's just the way it go. They know that. But ICE doing it, and wait a minute, they're putting us in zip ties and we're not the immigrants. Guess what I'm telling y'all? I'm not mad at ICE zip tying people in the situation to figure out what's going on. What I'm mad at ICE for doing is beating up Americans at their workplace. That's what the whole video should have been about. They dropped the ball because they trying to push division. Tell me I'm lying. They dropped the ball, CNN, because you're trying to push division. The whole video should have been, wait a minute, ICE shouldn't even be allowed to even go to certain places because that's profile and rec. Think about this. Would it make sense if I'm looking for lethal gang members to be patrolling Home Depots every day? Because a gang member make his money in the streets and he making big money in the streets. He ain't got time to waste time cutting some grass all day. If I'm an officer, and which I was, I'm thinking we wasting our damn time. But you got to look at all the people on ICE. They're a bunch of Proud Boys. They don't really care about the threats that's in the hood because it ain't a threat to them. So my whole thing is I see the psyop behind it all, but I ain't going to beat this dead horse all night. I got to get up out of here. Peace and much love to the panel and to the chat. Appreciate y'all. Be on the lookout for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, much love. We out, y'all. Appreciate all the support once again. Shout out to my Patreons. And to my channel members, much love. Be on the lookout for the next notification.